Good morning everybody. Today I am going to be float fishing on a lake local to me. It's known as the Pit. Very beautiful location. You have a deeper end and you have a shallower end. I'm currently on the shallow end. It is hot today, very sunny on the water, so I'm hoping the carp will come to the surface and I can catch them on the surface. Different baits today. I have got some floating pellets, basically dog biscuits. These in particular are the mainline cell floaters. They have caught me loads now, so kind of my go-to. You can buy cheaper alternatives, literally chum mixers, bakers, all sorts of different brands basically. And then I've got some mixed maggies. See if I can get them on camera. They're all trying to wriggle out. So yeah, my two baits today, maggots and floater pellet biscuit things, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, I'm going to be using a bubbler float. I'm going to be using my 9-foot 275 test curve. It's my Daiwa Black Widow. It's kind of my go-to rod when I'm float fishing. Don't like to take a lot of tackle when I'm float fishing, so it's nice and small, easy to carry, nice and light. That probably gave a lot of you anxiety. Couple of bank sticks, and yeah, the size bubbler float I'm going to be using is medium. Not medium, sorry, large. You can tell I've just woken up. Yeah, large bubbler float. I know that the fish aren't spooked in here easily. They're sort of naturally fed, so they're not as bothered about lines, floats in the water. In fact, at the other lake, which is in the same membership, they literally try and eat your float. So yeah, might even have a go at the controller float. I'm just going to sort of give it a go. The hook I'm going to be using, mind my writing, it's absolutely terrible, but it's going to be a wide gape size 8. This is barbless. I normally use barbs, but we're going to go with barbless today. I have pre-tied a rig last night ready just to save me some time on the bank. I'm using zig line from Corda, tail rubber and a simple loop. And then on the bottom half, I've got my size 8 wide gape hook, a bit of foam, because I've noticed that when you put the pellets on the hook, they tend to sink, not float. So the foam just helps it stay floatable. I don't know how well you can see that. I will probably see that I'm being an idiot in the edit. But yeah, it's about a foot long, if just over a foot. So yeah, I'm going to get everything set up. I'm going to be using a fresh reel today. I serviced it, so hopefully it feels really nice. It's got new line on it as well. I got really tired of the line I was using, so I switched it up. So it's going to feel really nice, hopefully. This is the lake, or the area of the lake I'm going to be fishing. Like I said, this is the shallower end, so I'm going to get all my stuff ready and get out in the water. So I am now out in the water fishing. Filled up my bubbler float, set it all up. I've gone with the dog biscuits. These ones, I don't know if I showed it. It's early, I'm tired. Yeah, I've gone with one of them for now. I've chucked it quite a distance out. I'm just going to sort of wait for it to slowly come back into me. I've so far not seen any carp on the surface, but then again, there is a lot of reflections on this water. So I just have to sort of wait and see, I guess. I didn't bring any equipment for like ledgering or anything like that, so it's going to be whether or not I catch on the surface. So yeah, I mean, the most activity I've seen so far is a couple of little fish and a big old goose, whatever one it is. So what I'm going to do is chuck a couple of these out as freebies. I might even chuck in a couple of maggies just to get everything sort of in my swim. There's no one in the swims next to me. It's just like a little walkway. but there's no one there, so I'm confident that feeding my area will get them here. So yeah, just going to chuck a couple out. Probably the worst throw you've ever seen on YouTube, but I'm only little. While there's no fish biting and it's very peaceful and quiet, I thought I'd talk a little bit about merch. So I'm going to be making some t-shirts, predominantly for me and family to wear. You'll see them in the videos coming up. If people like them or if people want them, give me a message. I can then get them created, send them out to you and sort of stuff like that. So I'm going to switch up and try a couple of Maggies just to make a bit of a change. I always find it really hard to film and hook maggots on because I'm trying to look through the camera when realistically I should be actually looking where I'm sticking a really sharp hook. So I'm going to put about 3-4 on just to fill that hook up nicely. I'm now going to give that a little cast out. So maggots are now out there, probably getting absolutely wrecked by the littler fish. But hopefully it just gets some different scents out in the water. You know, and if the little ones are happier feeding, then the carp will soon come in. I just itched my eye with maggot juice on it. So you might see me blind in the next video. That was me trying to press play with my nose. And you know what, I'm going to keep that in the video. So it's that time, as a lady, need to use the loo. So I thought I'd show you guys my toilet setup. It's pretty simple, but it's a lot better than using the portaloos that are provided. Most of the time, especially on commercials, the toilets are absolutely ruined. This one's not too bad, but it's very overgrown. So these are the sort of toilet essentials that I would recommend if you're a female fisherwoman. Don't know if that's what we're calling it, but we'll go with that. And I'll show you how I set it up. So I'm going to go in this back corner, so I'm more away from everyone, and also because there's a path there I can still see clearly down it. Being alone as a female, you have to take these sort of precautions. You shouldn't have to, but you do. So this was really cheap. This was off of Amazon, and it is literally just a pop-up privacy tent. I'll show you how easy it is to open. It just literally folds out. You just sort of find a nice space for it. This was actually a wet net bag, or you know, sort of stink sleeve, but I cut it, well, my dad cut it down for me, and we've made it so it carries all of my tent pegs. God, that looks quite scary, doesn't it? We've made it so it holds all my tent pegs and my little hammer. Now, I'm not sponsored, I wish I was, but I use the Ridge Monkey Cozy toilet system. So it's basically just a bucket. Open that up. They normally come in just the bag form, but I've had to buy a refill. We get these little toilet bags which you just put in. You have the lid system the bag goes under that bit and that holds it down. Comes in a nice little bag, and I carry air freshener. Just even when I pee, I use air freshener just so it smells nice when you're basically going for the toilet. So I'm going to demonstrate how this all works. So you grab one of your toilet bags. Do not throw this zip bag away because you will need it. Grab your bin bag. In the bag, you then have a little roll of tissue and this gel. You can put this gel in after or before. I put it in before. Sorry, powder, and it turns into gel. Just tip the whole lot. Oh God, you're not meant to do that. Tip the whole lot in. I then use this as a rubbish bag. I'll take the toilet roll out. This system does come with a toilet roll holder, but I don't use it. I just use the toilet roll provided. Like I said, keep this with you. Then you have your toilet set up there. I keep the bag there ready, and in this you have an open window just for some ventilation, and then a little pocket, and I tend to keep the toilet roll in that little pocket. I also, in the bottom section of my chair bag, keep a bottle of hand sanitizer. So after I've gone to the toilet, I can use this. Just remember, when touching bait, fish can smell that. So make sure you leave it a while basically before touching anything like that, because fish can taste it. It's the same with sun creams, perfumes, any products like that. You want to be as natural as you can really, but also want to stay clean. So, well, the maggots have definitely started to liven up now. Sorry for the lack of actual fishing content so far, other than me yapping. It's been really quiet. I can hear them eating, but I cannot locate them. There's some lily pads to the right of me, which I've aimed for, but I'm using maggots at the moment, so I'm having to keep rebaiting. Yeah, hopefully it picks up soon so I can show you guys me catching a fish. So over there are the lily pads that I'm aiming to. Okay, so the sun just shone down on the lake and I can see that there is definitely carp. Quite a few of them as well, so I'm going to try again to get it out there. Yeah, we're not anywhere near. Let's try that again. That's better. That's better. We'll leave it there. So as you'll have seen by the GoPro footage, I've just tried to aim it right at the carp. Unfortunately, I couldn't cast as far as the carp, but I'm hoping that the scent will sort of drift through the water. Unsure how well you'll be able to see this, but I've got my bubble float just there, and the carp, it's just there, you can just see the shadow. Just had a lovely gentleman come up to me. He'd fished the night on the other side. He said that he had 7 up. The biggest was, I think, 23 pound, he said. So it's definitely fishing. So obviously my main concern is that in the heat it is a lot harder to fish. But yeah, he and his mate had a couple up. I also noticed there's a lot of gnats and mosquitoes, so I'm going to try this. I thought it's pretty cool. It's very thin, almost like a credit card. I'm going to spray myself with some of that because I don't fancy more bites. does smell a bit zesty. Sorry for all the waffling in this video. There's just no fish. I'm not catching, but it's good to be able to share different tactics, and the way I'm fishing might help someone else. And you know, the same goes if someone leaves a comment and suggests a different way of doing things. More than happy to try it. You know, it's a good community when you're on the right side of this community, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm going to be switching up to a different type of float soon, with some maggots on the end. I'm going to fish a bit deeper, just to make a bit of a change. So at the moment, obviously, I'm on the surface, but I'm not seeming to be. I think I can see a carp heading towards. Can't work it out. It's disappeared, went deep. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to be switching up float soon if this doesn't, because I've been doing this for 4 hours now. Not a single take. So change to float, go for a little bit of depth, see if I can get anything. So the bubbler float method was not working. So I'm going to be going ahead and changing up. Just going to show you what I do with it. So I'm going to go in through the top eye, swivel, whatever you want to call it, then in through the bottom, that's painful to watch. I'm going to slide that down by quite a bit, just to give us room. Again, barbless, wide gape, size 8 hook. And I'm just going to do a simple half blood knot. I'm very cack-handed, so please don't comment on how I tie a knot. I get enough hate from my dad. I say, what are you doing with them hands? So cack-handed. Anyway, one more turn. Pass that back through the loop you created. Triple A. Just to weight the hook down enough. I'll probably put it about there. So it's still a bit from the hook. And so might just be able to see my float there. Hopefully we get something, even if it is just a little tiddler. So all the little fish are currently interested in the maggots. So I'm just sitting here ready to strike. So I just had this really decent sized bream, to be fair. I've overwritten the sound on this due to an aeroplane going past and you couldn't hear what I was saying. Now set up some more maggots, try again. Hopefully get something other than a bream. But who knows? Oh, after that eventful couple of minutes, I knocked over my camera, then got stuck in a branch trying to not knock my camera. I missed it. And he took my maggots. Yeah, after all of that eventfulness, I did get back out in the water. But I've now got to sit and re-maggot again. So needed. Changed back to pellets, so I'm just going to chuck a couple round my float. I'm not too far out this time, literally right in front of my swim. Still on the same float, but I just went with a pellet and I let it sink. I didn't put the foam on this time, so it'll be sitting on the floor waiting for something to come along and hoover it up. Just see if we can at least get something. Just caught this absolute lovely one. Maybe little, but still, it's a nice catch. So as you have seen, I just had a lovely sized roach. Somehow took a big old pellet. So recasted it back out with the pellet on and see if we get any more. I'm on top of a fish, but he just does not want it. I must be the only one that consistently puts a hook through their finger. So that is going to be the end of this episode. It's now the afternoon, I've sat here all morning. All I managed to get was one roach, one bream and a hook in my finger. But I'm now going to go home and spend the afternoon chilling. Hopefully at the end of this video I'll be showing you the new merch. But yeah, if you like the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.